Live with Rob Nothman.
Yes, Leandro, well played today. 2 goals. And Arsenal, you never let up from that performance at Real Madrid during the week. You were at it again right from the start.
Yeah, for sure. That's what we wanted today. We wanted to keep the momentum going, and I think that's what we did today. Scored 4, got a clean sheet, and happy days for us.
Does the manager remind you of that beforehand? Was part of his team talk about, we have standards, we've set them against Real Madrid, we have to continue them?
Yeah, definitely. He's a winner and he wants to win every game, and he transfers us to us as well, and I think you could see that on the pitch today as well. We were really dominant, especially the first 30 minutes. Then the red card obviously helped us as well, but I think overall it was a really good performance of us.
2 good goals here from you. You seem to be a master at just being able to shoot through players' legs. Is that deliberate?
Yeah. Sometimes, yeah, they're really good at blocking shots. So if they go for it, you have to try and aim through the legs as well. And yeah, they went in really well for me.
And can I ask, what did that Real Madrid, what did those matches do for the whole group? Because, I don't know, I detected just a little bit more energy and confidence in Arsenal today. Is that fair?
Yeah, I would say so. Obviously, if you win twice against Madrid, everyone gets confidence. But I think also that we showed to the world and to everyone what we are capable of. And yeah, we have to keep going. There's a game coming up soon as well, and we want to win that as well and keep the momentum going.
And for you now competing for one of those front 3 places for that Champions League game, these next couple of league games are going to be key, aren't they?
Yeah, always. That's what I'm used to. Obviously, if you play for Arsenal, there's a lot of competition, and that's good for the team as well. So it's good that everyone is chipping in with goals and assists as well, so everyone has the confidence going into that game.
Good performance today, well played. Leandro Trossard there, the Arsenal striker. 2 goals today, Steve.
Thank you very much, Rob. I was talking to Ray Houghton about the '94 World Cup earlier, which might be why I accidentally just said Leonardo Trossard. But there we go. John Murray, you were saying we'd wait and see whether Leicester fans would make their voices heard. You haven't had to wait very long.
No, there's a light plane flying over the King Power Stadium at the moment, and it's got one of those messages trailing behind it in the skies, and it reads, "King Power clueless, sack the board." So that is, it's clearly been organised in advance, and that will probably be a reflection of the mood that we've got inside the King Power Stadium this afternoon if things again go badly for them here today.
This is not an easy question, Clinton, but just we're talking about manager recruitment there. Take fairness out of the equation. Would Ruud van Nistelrooy be the best manager to lead Leicester in the Championship next season, do you think, based on what you've seen?
The Championship is very hard. Like, you need to know the league inside out. If Ruud van Nistelrooy has gone and done his homework about the teams in the Championship, then why not give him a go? But I would rather have someone who's had that experience in the Championship. There's a lot of managers out there who ain't got jobs that have done well in the Championship. So because it's a big season next season for Leicester. There's going to be a lot of top teams in the Championship that have got promoted from League One, the likes of Birmingham. So it's not going to be easy. It's not a foregone conclusion that Leicester get relegated and they can come back straight away. Yeah, they do have top players, but they're going to lose a lot of players. A lot of players will be on high wages. They're going to have to cut the wage bill. So when they're recruiting a manager in the summer, they have to make sure they get the right manager, because it shows in the Premier League this season their recruitment with players and the management haven't been good enough, Crossy.
Would you give Vardy a new contract?
100%. In the Championship, I'd give Vardy a new contract, even if he's not going to play week in, week out, because he played 46 games in the Championship. You saw when they got promoted in that promoted season, he scored a lot of goals, and if you're bringing in a young striker, they can learn off Jamie Vardy. He's not going to be able to play Saturday, Tuesday, but the experience he has in the Championship...
Stand by, Clinton. I knew it would happen. Here's Mikel Arteta, the Arsenal manager, with Rob Nothman.
Yes, Mikel is in front of me here. That was a performance that must have pleased you a lot, because there was no drop-off from what you'd done during the week.
No, it was even an increase. I think we started the first 35 minutes, one of the best football we played against a really difficult opponent here. Scored 2 goals, could have scored 3 or 4. And after, the game was conditioned obviously by the red card. We have to manage the game a little bit more. But overall, I think a really positive afternoon. We made changes. We saved some minutes of some players. We gave minutes to other players. We performed really well and we won the game.
You must be aware, though, that it would be easy for a team to drop off occasionally after matches of that intensity against Real Madrid. To look at a team that looks so well, all of its patterns are so ingrained, must be something that gives you a lot of pleasure.
Yeah, that's what we discussed in the last 48 hours. You know, the consistency is now the next level. It's about doing it at the highest end and doesn't affect the Premier League, and you are consistently there. And you have that desire, that intensity that we played, especially the first 35 minutes, so it was very pleasing to actually see it.
Bukayo Saka went off and we saw him strapped with an ice pack around his Achilles. Is he all right?
Yeah, he was sore, but I think it's nothing serious, so that's positive as well.
So what's going to happen now in terms of what you do team selection-wise with a game against Crystal Palace before those Champions League matches
Let's
come
see
around?
how the boys are, because obviously today we have to make changes. We have players that they could not start the game, others that they could not finish the game. It's been a big headache every week in the last 9 months with the amount of issues that we had, but we are coping with it.
Thank you very much for your time. Mikel Arteta, who's going to, I think, go away and blow his nose. He's got a little bit of the...
There's Rob Nothman. I think our line's got a bit of the lurgy as well, hasn't it? Clinton, do you want to finish your thought and then we'll spin it back to Liverpool?
No, that was it really. I just said their recruitment hasn't been good enough. I don't mind being interrupted by Mikel Arteta. I'll take that one, Crossy.
Just on receptions, John. There's been a lot of noise about sort of how some Liverpool fans might feel about Trent Alexander-Arnold, and Arne Slot said he might well be available for 20 minutes off the bench today. That will be interesting to see as well, whether it's a very small minority.
Yes, although I suspect... Well, we'll find out, won't we? I mean, how many Liverpool fans will there be here? 3,000?
Yeah.
Would you say?
Yeah.
It's the hardcore as well, isn't it? So you get a good indication.
This is the away support as opposed to the sort of 60,000 at Anfield, where you might have a greater mix of opinions. Maybe the travelling Liverpool support will be, how shall I put it, more understanding of his position.
Yeah, I think John's right, but they're the die-hard ones, so that's who I'd listen to. They're the ones who go away, home and away, so they're the die-hard. But if it's at Anfield, he's definitely going to get a few little boos, because there's going to be a lot of Liverpool fans that are going to be disappointed with Trent. We don't know yet what's going to happen, but it looks more likely like he's going to move on and coming through the academy. And Liverpool fans, who I've got a lot of friends, not getting any money for him, I think that burns them, Crossy.
I find it a tricky one, this, with Trent Alexander-Arnold, because I'm not a Liverpool supporter, and I know that Liverpool supporters have been unhappy with some of the things that Trent Alexander-Arnold has said, which have suggested that, you know, his future long-term would be always at Liverpool, and it looks as though that's not going to be the case, that he's going to go to Real Madrid. But, you know, someone in this job who regularly goes to Real Madrid and the Bernabeu, if you go there, if you see that place, if you see that club, you know what it's achieved, what its standing is in the whole history of the game, and you've got the opportunity to go there and play for that club, I think that's a very, very difficult one to say no to.
Yeah, but he might change his mind after their performances against Arsenal. No, I hear exactly what John's saying, because when you're growing up and the Galactico and stuff like that, going to Real Madrid, it is seriously so hard to turn down a club like Real Madrid. But then I hear Liverpool fans' argument to say, we're a club that can be challenging like that and winning Champions League as well, and you're a homegrown talent as well. So I hear it from both sides, really and truly. So I understand, because I've got a lot of Liverpool fans that are really friends that are frustrated by the way Trent has obviously handled it all. But yeah, I'm not in his situation, so it must be a hard one for him.
I think you've both put that very well, Clinton, because the reality of it is we can add all the context we want. None of us would ever tell a fan how they should feel.
100%. Yeah, the fans, they know the club inside out, so I would never tell a Liverpool fan how they feel, especially when it's a homegrown talent. I think if he's not a homegrown talent, and maybe it's different, but when it's a homegrown talent, and a lot of the fans look up to Trent from where he's come through, it's very difficult for them to understand.
First game for Virgil van Dijk since his new contract, 33 now. Arne Slot said to us in the week, interview you might have heard with Rob Schofield earlier on 5 Live, that he thinks Van Dijk can still play on for a long time yet. So it's 33, it's 2 years at least. Do you think his game is borderline ageless, if you see what I mean?
Yeah, I agree with you. I think Virgil can play. You know what he is? He never gets himself in situations. He reads the game so well, so he don't get himself in situations where a lot of the time he's in a one-on-one. And when he's in a one-on-one, Crossy, his body shape and his positional sense is brilliant. Virgil van Dijk is a hell of a signing for Liverpool. You know why? He makes all the other players around him in that back four better players. He makes them better players. The goalkeeper feels assured when Virgil van Dijk. At the other end, with Salah, he's got so much pace. That's the one where you worry if his pace slows down, but he can still score goals. But I think Virgil van Dijk signing that new contract, brilliant news for the Premier League and brilliant news for every Liverpool fan.
We can now hear live from Ruben Amorim, the Manchester United manager. Another defeat for them. Here he is with Charlie Slater.
Ruben, thank you for joining us. The highs and lows of football, eh?
Yeah, I think it's clearly, and it is easy to resume this game. We didn't score in our opportunities. The only shots maybe on target from Wolves, they score. So if you don't score goals, you don't win games.
How disappointed are you after the heroics of Thursday, after such a high, to see that good feeling evaporate today, to disappear?
That is in the past. So when you play for a big club like this, you won one game in one stage in Europa League. So let's move on. We play better today. We were the better team on the pitch. We create chances, but if you don't score goals, you will not win games, and we need that to get more points.
And that is the 13th time this season that you've failed to score in a game. That is surely one of the biggest problems you've got to fix this summer.
Yeah, I already said that. We need to score. We need to score goals. There was a time that we didn't score, but we didn't create. We are creating chances. We have a lot of chances to score a goal, but we don't score. So I think it's the biggest problem on our team.
And I know you mentioned that the game on Thursday night is gone now. It's in the past. It doesn't matter. But of course, you could have got confidence and momentum from that. That might now well be gone because of that performance today. So how do you start to build again?
Like we did so many times this season, because we had some good moments and then setbacks. So it's one more. But he's really frustrated, because sometimes when the opponent is clearly better, you can deal with that, you can work with that. But today you can feel it. We had the game in our hand, and we didn't score. If we don't score, we will not win.
I appreciate your time. Thank you
very much.
That's Ruben Amorim live on 5 Live Sports. We've had Ruben Amorim, Leandro Trossard, Mikel Arteta, all live for you over the course of the last half hour. The trumpet tells you we're almost ready to go at the King Power. We've got our Premier League commentary, Leicester versus Liverpool, on the way. We also have a Scottish Cup semi-final going on at Hampden Park, and it's one-way traffic, Gavin Wallace.
Completely and utterly, but St Johnstone had the ball in the net. Aramida, though, was upended. He was shoved by Daniel Balodis on the build-up. Mackenzie Kirk put it in. It was chalked off. James Forrest fell over in the box. Again, Daniel Balodis was at fault for that. Referee had a good look at it, went to the screen. No penalty. St Johnstone 0, Celtic 4.
More reaction to come at half-time at the King Power Stadium. Liverpool on the verge of the Premier League title. Leicester City about to go over the edge and into the Championship. Clinton Morrison's with John Murray.
Yes, Virgil van Dijk, very much the focus of attention, much like Mo Salah was. This time last week, Virgil van Dijk out there as the Liverpool captain at the head of the line. Alisson all in yellow behind him. He just motions the little mascot in front of him forward so he can go and slap hands with the officials. And I see in the Liverpool section as well, there's that banner, the big red banner, which has written on it, "He's our centre-half, he's Virgil van Dijk," being handed around above the heads of the Liverpool supporters who are in one corner. So yes, Liverpool are closing in on the Premier League title, but after Arsenal's big win down at Portman Road earlier that you might have been listening to, it cannot be confirmed today. But for Leicester City, I'm afraid what can be confirmed for them is that they will be back in the Championship next season. They have to win, Clinton, and that's a daunting prospect against Liverpool, who I just have a feeling, with the big news that they've had, Salah last week, Virgil van Dijk this week, that late win against West Ham at Anfield last weekend, it could be a difficult afternoon for Leicester.
Yeah, you're right, John. I mean, it definitely will be a difficult afternoon. I've been to quite a few Leicester games recently, and nowhere near have they turned up. Been nowhere near good enough defensively. And Liverpool, we're looking. They've had a great week, Liverpool, with the news last week about Mo Salah, and then this week with Virgil van Dijk. And he just went over to the fans, and they gave him the biggest round of applause. Virgil van Dijk. Every player will be on it. Would not surprise me if Mo Salah fills his boots this afternoon, and that's not being disrespectful to Leicester.
No, absolutely. Well, the bugler has stepped away. The Leicester City players are going into a huddle there in the half to our right. should say it is an absolutely glorious afternoon. It is beautiful here in Leicester today. Blossom on the trees, sun shining down. It is the picture of springtime, isn't it?
Yes, it is beautiful. I have my t-shirt on. It's a bit windy here, but out there in the sun.
Don't spoil the picture.
No, it won't. It's brilliant. It's blue skies, and it's because I live 20 minutes from here. That's why, John. So I always bring the sun with me.
The sun always shines on Clinton Morrison. All right, before we get underway, it's back to Hampden because Gavin Wallace.
The sun is shining on Celtic, John. It's 5-0. Jota just on the park. It's a great ball in from Alistair Johnson, back post, and he's flying there. As soon as the ball hits the deck, he taps it home. St Johnstone 0, Celtic 5.
Thank you, Gavin. So it looks like, well, it will be Celtic against Aberdeen in the final. And here we're ready to go. The expectation is that the Foxes today will be like lambs to the slaughter, but let's see. Leicester City against Liverpool. You're with us on BBC Radio 5 Live. BBC World Service listeners are with us as well. Welcome to you as Liverpool kick off, playing from left to right, and immediately the ball is fired down the left-hand side, and it's out of play for a throw-in to Leicester. These are the teams in full, if you haven't heard. Leicester with Hermansen in goal, Ricardo Pereira, Fass, Cody and Luke Thomas. Leicester with the ball inside their own penalty area. They have got a recent history of conceding early goals, so let's just keep an eye on them. Offside flag is up against Luis Diaz, so free kick to Leicester. So Pereira, Fass, Cody and Thomas the back four, and Didi and Somare in midfield. Then Di Cordova-Reid coming in, Al-Khanous and Mavididi, with Jamie Vardy, the 38-year-old Jamie Vardy, through the middle up front. And remember, the last time Leicester City scored a Premier League goal in this stadium on their home ground was the 8th of December, 133 days ago. Liverpool with Konate just heading the ball to the halfway line. A couple of changes for them from last weekend against West Ham. So Alisson in goal, Bradley, Konate, Van Dijk and Tsimikas again at left back. Tsimikas, Robertson on the bench, Gravenberch, McAllister and Szoboszlai. Jones is a substitute today, and Salah, Diaz and Gakpo the front three, with Jota among the subs. Konate just has to come across out of his penalty area and put the ball out of play for a throw into Leicester down the left-hand side, and Luke Thomas just juggling the ball on the touchline down in front of us is going to take this throw in. Luke Thomas, big holes in the back of his socks, takes the throw back to Conor Cody. Little pass forward from him, then it finds its way out to the left-hand side to Mavididi. Mavididi now challenged by Gravenberch, and the ball runs for Liverpool and for Gravenberch, and now Bradley will actually bring it forward and wins a throw-in. In fact, it's just kept in by Mavididi on a slot there. The sun just glinting on the top of his bald head. He thought also that the ball was out of play, but play continues and Leicester will go back to Cody in central defence. So it's Leicester City 0, Liverpool 0, and sitting alongside me, Clinton Morrison, Premier League goal scorer, Republic of Ireland international, and Leicester just got to be careful here. Clinton Thomas is in danger of being challenged by Bradley, but he wins the throw-in. Yeah,
Leicester started well, trying to be confident in possession, but they have to be careful because Liverpool are one of the best press teams in the Premier League, and they will press and cause them problems. As
Liverpool have the ball on the edge of the area, Diaz through, Salah one-on-one, oh, it hit both posts. How on earth did that stay out? It hit the left post, rolled along the goal line, hit the right post, came out, and then somehow, I think it was McAllister, wasn't able to score on the follow-up. Well, that's a collector's item.
I can't believe it. I was just right behind him and thinking 1-0, and he's onside. It's a great little ball, and he does everything right apart from finding the back of the net. He's really unlucky. He's unfortunate, but it's too easy to get through Leicester there. Very easy, but unlucky Salah.
That, for Leicester, was ominous, but maybe it's going to be their day.
You never know.
Corner for Salah from the right. For McAllister to take. It was McAllister who put it wide after it hit both posts. Probably couldn't believe his eyes. In comes the corner, half-headed away to the edge of the area. Shot from Gravenberch. He's yet to score this season. That's blocked inside the area. And then it's headed out by Tsimikas out towards the left-hand side, and Liverpool back to the halfway line. Clinton, how often did that happen to you in your career, your entire career, clubs and country, that you hit a shot that hit both posts and stayed out?
I think once. Probably.
It did happen.
I think it's only happened once that I can remember in that, because I did play for many years when only once. But that's so unfortunate because I think usually when it hits one post, John, the angle of it, the ball usually takes it into the net, but it's just rolled right across the line. Luck is shining with Leicester at the moment. They'll be hoping it's like that all day.
I think you could play your whole career
And it
at
could
the
never
very
happen.
top of the game.
Yeah.
You know, Messi, Ronaldo. I wonder if it's ever happened to them.
No, but they're better than me, aren't they? They would pull it in the back of the net, not the post.
It's just happened to Mo Salah.
Yeah, it's unfortunate.
And then
It's
Salah
once in a
goes-
blue moon.
Salah goes for goal from 40 yards out, and he hit that like a back pass.
He did. You're right, John. You know, that could be a good... I don't think that's happened to many people. That's a good point you make.
Well, it's 0-0 because of that, and still Mo Salah on the run that he's on, actually, which by his standards is very unusual, certainly in this season. Just 2 penalties in his last 8 Liverpool appearances. But it's Leicester who break forward with Di Cordova-Reid over there on the right-hand side. Plays it back, in comes the cross, but it's just beyond Bradley. Stretch for it in the middle, and Bradley hasn't cleared it, and Mavididi goes down next to the byline, but referee Stuart Atwell just very calmly points and says goal kick.
Yeah, I don't know what Bradley's doing there. As I said it many times, I watched Liverpool when they were at Fulham, and Konate did the same thing earlier on in the game. Sometimes just clear your lines. I know you want to play out from the back, but don't take a risk there. He was very fortunate there.
Well, that, as we've described to you, that moment there when Salah hit both posts, that alone is a reason to watch Match of the Day 2 tonight on BBC One, which will be on after the news, or indeed any time on the iPlayer, or morning. Get up early and watch it. Leicester City 0, Liverpool 0. Leicester have to win, otherwise their relegation will be confirmed, and as we heard from Ali Bruce Ball earlier, Ipswich's defeat means that their relegation is all but confirmed. Here is Fass on the edge of the area, had a minor injury, so that's why he didn't play at Brighton last weekend, and then Cody plays the ball behind Fass, who has to scamper out to the right, and then in comes Tsimikas with the challenge and concedes a throw-in to Leicester halfway inside their own half. No particular sign of dissension in the Leicester sections inside the King Power Stadium. The only thing I'd say is very flat, really.
Yeah, it's been like that for the majority of the season, though, and it's down to the players to make this place lively, and it hasn't been like that. And that's when you come up from the Championship, you need your fans to play a big part, and they really haven't. But you can't really blame them.
No, and it's not full. There are spare seats in the home sections, but the Liverpool end absolutely sold out and singing, "We're going to win the league." And Liverpool know coming into this that they need 2 more wins, and that's still the case after Arsenal's big win earlier. They need 2 more wins to guarantee the Premier League title, but if they win here today, it could be sorted on Wednesday night when Arsenal are at home to Crystal Palace. But failing that, this time next week, and the plan is for that to be on 5 Live, same time as the FA Cup semi-final between Nottingham Forest and Manchester City. If they win at home against Tottenham, then that will be it, as Bradley is shoved over, pushing the back by Mavididi, and it's a free kick to Liverpool in their own right-back position, 0-0.
So, John, both games will be on at the same time?
Yes, 4:30 start next Sunday afternoon. That's not
and what
right,
is the
it?
5 Live game?
Well, at the moment, the plan is for it to be Liverpool-Tottenham.
Okay, now just because I'm doing the game, I'm doing Forest, Man City.
Well, so am I.
Oh, well, there we are.
That's
We're
you and I
together. It's
together.
us together. Okay.
But we'll be on Sports Extra.
I'm not sure they want the dream team on Sports Extra. But then Liverpool are more important. They're winning the Premier League, so I'll take that.
Just wait now to see people signing up for BBC Sounds this week. Here's Van Dijk, who steps forward, gives it to Tsimikas. Tsimikas forward to Gakpo, Luis Diaz in the middle, but he just drifts over there towards the far side, receives it from Gakpo, then Luis Diaz with a cross. Salah's lurking at the back post, crosses it, and it into the body of Thomas, who was actually raising his hands at the time, and I thought for a moment that he might actually have handballed it, but it's into his body and behind for a corner.
Yeah, it's good movement from Salah, good ball from Diaz, and there was no big appeals from Salah. Yeah, you can see it kind of hits his midriff and goes out for a corner. Good defending from Thomas.
Leicester City 0, Liverpool 0. Choice of listening at the moment, by the way, on Sports Extra right now, if you already have your BBC Sounds app. Wales-Ireland in the Women's Six Nations, where it is Wales 14, Ireland 40. Corner for Liverpool in the shadows to my right. Alexis McAllister, number 10 on his back. Right-footed corner into the edge of the 6-yard box. Van Dijk with a header. He's claiming that it came off a Leicester head. Referee Atwell, who was on the other side of the penalty area, didn't have the best of positions there, but was quite decisive and said, off Van Dijk's head, goal kick.
It's a good ball in from McAllister. I thought it was a corner. I'm watching the replay now because Van Dijk gets there, and it does. It comes out. Vast just gets there before Van Dijk, I think.
Oof. Well, was that bouncing back on the
I think he might have got that right, Stuart Atwell. It bounced back off Van Dijk, yeah, and then back onto Van Dijk. Yeah, good decision from the referee.
Rat-a-tat.
Yes, rat-a-tat.
And here is Van Dijk, who scored from the corner last weekend to make it 2-1 against West Ham. And that win means that Liverpool are now nearly there. Nearly there. It does feel like an end-of-season match today. Here's Mavididi round the outside of Bradley, does very well into the penalty area. Liverpool lots of bodies back, but then the shot hits the post from the angle. The shot from Ndidi, and now Leicester have hit the post of the Liverpool goal. And that could easily have been a shock lead for Leicester, just like at Anfield on Boxing Day when the sides played last. Luis Diaz, though, breaking forward, does well, keeps the ball under pressure, then forward to Gakpo. Gakpo's cross against Cody. Salah at the back post, saved by Hermansen, and then cleared away. Cleared away by Pereira, out for a throw down the left.
What a game, end to end, to be fair. It's brilliant from Mavididi at the other end. He does ever so well. He picks out Wilfred Ndidi. It's a great strike from Ndidi, and he's so unlucky, hits the post, and then they just break. Diaz brilliant to Gakpo, great stand up. Salah again. Brilliant save from Hermansen, brilliant save.
Good save, yeah, got down well, diving down to his right, did push it into the penalty area, so he needed a little bit of luck, but he got it. And I suppose Leicester probably are due a little bit of fortune after the season they've had. Tsimikas though with the cross, and that's headed away by Cody, former Liverpool man, remember, Connor Cody, as Leicester again clear towards the halfway line. Oh, what a start we've had.
Wow.
10 minutes.
Hit the post.
Salah's hit both posts.
Yeah. Indeed, he just hit one.
Hit the post of Alisson's goal, but still 0-0, and Liverpool with the ball halfway inside their own half. Incidentally, you could pick out all manner of things from this match in terms of numbers and facts, etc., etc. Here's one for you. Liverpool have scored 40 away goals in the Premier League this season, and that's more than any other team. Leicester City have kept, how many clean sheets do you think Leicester have kept in the Premier League this season?
One.
Correct.
Yeah.
One clean sheet, and that was back in October. As the ball is clipped in by Salah, and it comes off Cody's head. And I thought for a moment that was going to drop into the top corner, but it landed on the roof of the net. And it is another corner to Liverpool.
Yeah, they are threatening, and Salah looks like he's in the mood on this right-hand side. He just gets it. He tries to cross it. Deflects off Cody, and you think he's going to wrong foot Hermansen. But we'll have goals in this game, John, for sure.
So it is another right-sided corner for Liverpool. McAllister waiting to take this. Van Dijk with that new contract, just watching him. He's got two Leicester players either side of him. In it comes, and it is steered away behind. Konate was after it. Thomas was there as well. Referee says it was the final touch off the leg of the Liverpool centre-back, and it is a goal kick, and it remains 0-0. If you've just switched on and you haven't heard earlier, Ipswich Town 0, Arsenal 4. And a concern with an injury to Saka, but we've already heard from Mikel Arteta live on 5 Live Sport this afternoon, so it looks as though he's going to be okay, which is a big relief.
It was. I don't think he intentionally meant to do it. He didn't, Leif Davis, but it was a naughty tackle one down the back of his Achilles, and we don't need Saka to be injured. He's had a long injury, and Arsenal will need him fit if they're going to progress in that Champions League. Yeah,
you'll hear both of those matches here on 5 Lives. Liverpool come forward, but Luis Diaz passes it straight to Luke Thomas, and then Soumare goes back to Connor Cody, who goes back to Hermansen, and then Hermansen goes long and high, right down the middle of the pitch. Van Dijk against Vardy, and the ball comes off Van Dijk's head all the way back to Alisson. In fact, we've brought you commentary on all 3 of the matches in the Premier League so far today. After the events of Thursday night, back to Premier League Manchester United today, as Wolves won 1-0 at Old Trafford. And Liverpool on the attack, and Chelsea turning it round late, winning 2-1 at Fulham in the West London derby. Gakpo with a cross into the near post, but Hermansen is able to make the catch. And right now, Celtic 5-0 up on St Johnstone in the second of the Scottish Cup semi-finals.
Wow, John, I'm going to ask you a question. Tell me a better centre-back in the Premier League that can ping a ball 67 yards better than Virgil van Dijk.
Yeah, I think it's absolutely true to say that there is a great virtue, I feel, if you're a top football team and you've got a high-class central defender. You know, very often age and experience is a good thing, isn't it?
Yeah,
to have around. And I think as well for the general well-being of the squad.
You need someone like him around, and I think he's brilliant. I think he's a brilliant leader. I think he's a fantastic footballer. I just like a centre-half to ruffle him a few times because his hair's always in good condition. It doesn't look like he plays 90 minutes of football, John.
Yes, looks as though he's got plenty of conditioner in it.
Exactly.
He said, didn't he, when it was announced, it was always the plan.
Yes, it was.
It didn't look like that to me.
It didn't. Oh, unless he was winding us up.
Do you think? All season long?
Exactly, could have been.
I think Salah was the same.
Salah was the same. I think both knew what they were doing, just teasing us and the Liverpool fans.
Even when he was saying, I'm more out than in.
Yeah, I know.
What a tease.
I know, big tease, but we love it. Another 2 years of Mohamed Salah. I'll take that all day long. And Virgil van Dijk.
And Trent Alexander-Arnold, as discussed earlier on 5 Live, on the bench today, but probably in his final weeks as a Liverpool player before he heads. Well, it couldn't be sunnier climes. Can't be any sunnier than this in Madrid today. Here is Tsimikas, back to the halfway line, to Van Dijk, who just strokes it across to Konate. And then Konate with the pass. Salah's after that. Luke Thomas is with him. And the deflection takes it infield. Soumare just chips it out, and then it's played out for a play off Bradley by Soumare for a throw-in to Leicester halfway inside their own half. So Leicester City 0, Liverpool 0. A little later on, we will bring you updates on the Barcelona-Chelsea Women's Champions League semi-final after that dramatic game between Arsenal and Lyon yesterday. And just mentioning the Lyon match against Manchester United in the Europa League the other night, if you missed it, you've probably heard Conor McNamara and Paul Robinson's commentary, but you can go back on BBC Sounds, have a listen to Extra Time from round about 10 o'clock on Thursday night.
Let me tell you something, it was brilliant.
Yeah, it was.
It was brilliant. I'm not even going to lie. I had loads of people saying to me, unbelievable. It was brilliant.
Yes, and as I was saying to Patrick Keelty on 5 Live yesterday morning, since Thursday, NASA have been on to us and said that Connor's commentary could be heard in outer space.
Brilliant.
So there we are. Connor goes international and indeed into the universe. There's a foul on Soumare by Gravenberch, who was all over him, and referee Atwell says you're going to have to bring it back a few yards, which is a little bit pernickety. But he does that. Soumare, the French under-21 international, as he was, and it's still 0-0 with over 15 minutes played. Here's Mavididi now. Mavididi right-footed ball in, a little flick, deflection, but that took the pace off it, and it just looped up into the 6-yard box for Alisson to catch in front of his face.
Yeah, they worked too well, Leicester. Mavididi's causing Liverpool a few problems on this left-hand side. Good balling. I think Vardy gets the flick, and Vas can't sort his feet out, and it just comfortably went into Alisson. But they'll be happy with the first 17 minutes, Leicester. I know Liverpool have been the better team, but yeah, they've kept it nice and tight, and they've been a bit fortunate. And you're going to have to be like that when you're playing against the best team in the Premier League.
Leicester City 0, Liverpool 0. Ruud van Nistelrooy, the former Manchester United man, watching his team playing against Liverpool here. He looks like a film star, doesn't he, down there on the side of the pitch. He's perfectly manicured, thigh length, black overcoat on, arms folded at the moment. Who knows what's going to happen to him once this relegation is confirmed. McAllister, long cross into the area, but that's over the top of Salah and through for a goal kick. I mean, it certainly hasn't enhanced his reputation as a manager, has it? He had that one season at PSV and then really took the place by storm as the interim Manchester United manager for those 4 matches, but this, I mean, they've more than flatlined.
Yeah, it's a difficult one because you can't turn down when Premier League jobs come available, but I thought whoever came into this football club, it was always going to be a struggle, just by the recruitment and the big gap in class between some of the Premier League teams and Leicester. And
he did sign a contract until 2027 when he took the job back in November. It was when Steve Cooper was sacked after his few months in charge. For those who've forgotten, it was Enzo Maresca who brought Leicester City up as the champions last season before he obviously moved on to Chelsea. Big win for Chelsea today under Maresca. Late goals from George and Neto, which means it is very tight now. The teams between 3rd and 7th are separated by 2 points after these results.
The Champions League spots are so exciting, John. They're going to go right down to the wire. A lot of the teams are playing each other. You look at Aston Villa yesterday. It was a fantastic result against the informed team in the Premier League in Newcastle.
Yes, I was there, Clinton.
Fantastic, wasn't it?
They were very, very good.
Yeah, you were there because I was driving home and I was listening to you, so I should have known that. I forgot.
Nottingham Forest are now down in 6th place and Villa in 7th. Forest play Tottenham tomorrow. We'll have news of that on 5 Live Sport tomorrow evening, as here is El Kanous, the Moroccan international, who is clipped by the Egyptian international. Salah sent flying, and it's a free kick to Leicester in the Liverpool right-back area in a good position.
And that goes to show why they don't want Mo Salah tracking back and defending, because centre-forwards and wide players, they can't defend. He didn't need to make that tackle because Virgil van Dijk was coming across. It was needless, but credit to him, he tried to get back, but it was good play from El Kanous.
So it is a free kick for Leicester on the right-hand side. Thomas and El Kanous are together. He's been one of the very, very few bright notes, hasn't he? El Kanous scored last time Leicester won in what is a result that stands out like a sore thumb when they won 2-1 at Tottenham. So El Kanous actually runs away from it. So it's going to be Thomas with an out-swinging, left-footed free kick. That's over towards the back post, headed across by Cody, comes out to the edge of the penalty area, headed back in by Soumare, but Szoboszlai is able to get it partly away, and it comes back to Szoboszlai. Just a volley forward from him. This is for Salah to chase. Leicester players are getting back in numbers, and actually Thomas did very well to dispossess Salah, and now he has Mavididi, who will be well, I thought he was going to be beaten by Bradley, but he's won the ball back from the Liverpool right back. So Mavididi, who scored Leicester's first goal last weekend at Brighton, and that was Leicester's first goal for over 2 months, when they came back twice for the 2-2 draw at Brighton and showed a bit of spirit, and actually they've carried that on today.
No, they have, and he was a bright spark, Mavididi. I'm surprised. I said it when he was in the Championship, he was one of their better players, and he didn't start the season, and I was very surprised that he hasn't played enough games this season. I know it still would have been a struggle, but his excitement, he can take people on, score goals and cause problems.
Yes, playing on the left wing, Steffi Mavididi, former Arsenal youngster, quite a career path, having ended up at Juventus. A throw from Thomas into the Liverpool box, bounces down and then is cleared away by McAllister into the Leicester City half. Arne Slot comes forward, and when it eventually happens, and when Liverpool are confirmed as the champions, and what will be a record equaling 20th league title success for them, as Bradley is leaned into, fouled, ends up on the ground by El Kanous, so it's a free kick to Liverpool in their own right back area, and Bradley takes the ball and takes a free kick across to Konate inside the penalty area. Yes, I think when Arne Slot and Liverpool are eventually confirmed as champions, there will be great praise for the job that he's done when they made, it's effectively Jurgen Klopp's squad, isn't it, really?
It is. There were big shoes to fill. Listen, I do think Jurgen Klopp set the foundation for him, but it's still got to come in and deliver. You know what Jurgen Klopp was like. He's fantastic for Liverpool in the Premier League, but yeah, Slot's been outstanding.
Yes, literally and metaphorically big shoes to fill. Those enormous trainers. Here is Bradley, who brings the ball forward out to the right-hand side to Salah. Back to Bradley in the penalty area, cuts back onto his left foot, gets the shot in, it was blocked. But the ball ricochets across the penalty area and back towards the halfway line. Full-time whistle has gone at Hampden Park in the second of the Scottish Cup semi-finals, and Celtic coasting through, Gavin Wallace.
Yeah, 5 goals to 0 they've won, John. Celtic fans behind the goal were taps half with pale skin, but their team were on red-hot form. A 5-star performance, goals from McGregor, Ida, Jota, and a double from Maeda. Ensure Celtic now are on course for a 43rd Scottish Cup. John, Aberdeen beware. St Johnstone 0, Celtic 5.
So Celtic, Aberdeen, beautiful day here in the East Midlands. Not quite warm enough for taps aff, though.
No, if I see anyone with their tops off, I'm very surprised if I see a few people with tops off. It is warm though, it's a good one. It's a t-shirt kind of weather.
Yeah, lots of PSG fans the other night at at Villa Park had their taps off, as they say in Paris, as Soumare and Ndidi together. Here's Mavididi again on the left-hand side near the halfway line. El Khanous and Ndidi back centrally, and then Soumare will play it back to Fas. I have to say, if you just walked into the ground, what a pass that was by Fas to Mavididi, who was in an offside position, as I should have known, Clinton. You obviously called that as offside, as you always do.
Yeah, he's got to be looking across the line. The ball from Wout Fas is outstanding. He's just the same hair that just reminds you so well. He does. David Luiz. I thought that David is a better defender than him, though. Full credit. I thought David Luiz is.
Sometimes he wasn't.
No, sometimes he wasn't. Sometimes he was Wout Fas. I'm not even going to argue that case. But yeah, good footballer when it comes to passing and on the ball.
Yeah, but a brilliant player.
Yeah, exactly.
He hastily says. As Thomas gets up and heads the ball out of play and makes sure it doesn't reach Salah. In the Premiership, one game today in the Rugby Union, Bristol against Leicester Tigers, their home, just up the road from here, Welford Road. Bristol 19, Leicester 36 is the latest score with, well, it's nearly finished actually, that match. Liverpool attacking on the left-hand side with Gakpo coming into the Liverpool team today, but that's defended well by Ricardo Pereira. He's one that clearly they've missed. He is a high-quality player, and he's barely played, Clinton, this season. Ricardo Pereira, this is his 9th appearance, 5th start.
John, that's got to be injuries. It can't be. Yeah, it cannot be because you've not picking him, because he's exciting. I've always liked him wherever he plays. If he plays right back or in midfield, I think he's a better fullback, and he's been a good signing for Leicester. Yeah,
it was a hamstring injury, the latest problem that he had, and he's been susceptible to injuries. 25 minutes played, and as I was going to say, if you walked into the ground, didn't know where these two teams were in the league table, it's 0-0, and Leicester have given a really good account of themselves so far. We've had that extraordinary moment when the Salah shot hit both posts and stayed out, but Ndidi at the other end hit a shot that struck the bottom end of the right post and came back out into the penalty area. So still goalless here in a match that Leicester have to win, remember, to stave off relegation for another day. Here's Salah, who plays it infield towards McAllister. McAllister to Van Dijk. Leicester have got everyone back behind the ball. Liverpool trying to find a way through the middle. Luis Diaz, though, is strongly and firmly challenged, too firmly challenged by Ndidi. That's a free kick, just over 30 yards out, central.
Yeah, it must be the contact, because initially I think he gets the ball at the end, but it must be the first bit where he collides into, because there it looks like he gets the ball on the replay, but nah, I'm wrong. I can't see. I'm wrong. After looking at the replay, it's a brilliant decision. It's a foul from Ndidi.
So it's a free kick. If Alexander-Arnold was on the pitch, I think he would quite fancy a goal at this from here.
He's probably the one in the Liverpool team who could score from here. I think it's a bit. No, I tell a lie. Szoboszlai, I've seen him score an unbelievable strike for his country from this kind of distance. But will he go for goal here, John?
I'm thinking not. And actually, it might be McAllister. McAllister's just a little closer to the ball. No, it's going to be Szoboszlai. Comes up, hits it low and straight at Hermansen, who's able to field that. He had it past the wall.
Yeah, he did. He did go past the wall, but he cut across it as well. So it's good technique.
Jamie Vardy loses out in the centre circle. Gravenberch comes in with the challenge. And then it's McAllister who's able to start to bring the ball forward for Liverpool again. Their songs, Liverpool's songs, continue to reverberate around the ground. They're having a great time, the Liverpool supporters, whereas Leicester City's long-suffering fans this season, in the main, are sitting quietly and just taking it all in. Here's Tsimikas on the left-hand side, deep cross. Salah at the back post, hits the shot, bounces into the ground, and actually Thomas was well placed in front of him to block it with his body again for probably the third or fourth time behind corner.
Yeah, he gets good high fives from his teammates. He's having a good battle with Salah. A lot of the players coming down the left and then balls into the box, and yeah, it's another good piece of defending from Thomas.
So another corner, fourth corner for Liverpool, all of them from the right-hand side. So McAllister again looking across to our right, watching McAllister raise his left arm and then deliver it over the top of Van Dijk. Doesn't reach Konate, took a deflection away and then was hooked away by El Khanous to Mavididi, who wins the throw-in of the the now shaggy-haired Dominic Szoboszlai. Ruud van Nistelrooy just steps forward and scoops the ball back to the ball boy. And Leicester City with a throw halfway inside their own half. Easter Sunday today, Clinton. Happy Easter to you.
Happy Easter to you as well, John, and all the listeners.
Absolutely. And there will be an Easter Monday 5 Live Sport tomorrow. Another big day in the Football League. Issues could be decided, more issues. So Aaron Paul will have an around the grounds style programme tomorrow afternoon, 2:30, so don't miss that. And then tomorrow night, Joe Hart will be on the Monday Night Club with Mark Chapman and Chris Sutton and Rory Smith again, before a 5 Live Sport special tomorrow evening to mark the 20th anniversary of Jose Mourinho's Chelsea winning the Premier League. Here's McAllister. McAllister taking it on through the middle, but Ndidi is frustrated with the referee, gives a free kick against him. They take this one quickly, and then a foul by Mavididi on Bradley. And it's a free kick that Liverpool think about taking quickly again, but don't. They're going to organise themselves.
Liverpool are trying to get on with it, but Leicester are being disruptive and disrupting the play. But that's what you got to do when you're playing against top teams. And indeed, he's trying to be combative in midfield with Samari, and it's difficult because they have some good technicians in there. Liverpool do.
So Liverpool now back to 10 points clear at the top of the table again after Arsenal's win earlier. Free kick that will be curled in by McAllister. Just has a look over towards the players on the edge of the penalty area. Ruud van Nistelrooy spots something and makes a signal. McAllister curls it in, but that's headed up and away out towards the left-hand side, where a throw-in is won by El Khanous as McAllister came in with the challenge. And El Khanous has gone down and rolled off the pitch. Whether he's just caught him on the ankle, I don't know, the shin. And he's lying on his back off the field at the moment.
He might have. It looked like McAllister maybe got the ball, but if he's off the pitch, then carry on playing, because I guarantee he'll soon get up. And there's hardly any contact. He gets the ball and maybe follows through and catches him on his ankle, but it's not a foul.
Some of them, though, wear the tiniest shin pads.
They do. Some don't wear. Literally the thinnest shin pad I've ever seen, John.
Yeah, it's like
crazy. It's crazy.
It is, really.
Yeah, it is crazy.
And they are like centimetres long, aren't they?
They are. They're not protecting their shins or their legs at all.
No. Leicester City 0, Liverpool 0, and that is remarkable in itself, isn't it? Over half an hour played now.
Yeah, it has, and it's just flown by in this first half. It has flown by. Obviously, Salah's had the best opportunities where he's hit 2 posts, but then indeed he's hit a post as well.
Konate to Bradley, and then Mavididi comes in, puts the challenge in. This is exactly the performance that Ruud van Nistelrooy was calling for on Friday. Be competitive. That's just so often not been the case this season, when Leicester have lost 22 matches out of 32. They've lost 11 at home and 11 away, and actually to lose 11 home league matches in a season is a club record for Leicester City. Another of those unwanted club records that Leicester have racked up during the course of this campaign. Bradley back to Konate as the Liverpool supporters strike up a chorus of Steven Gerrard's name.
Can you imagine Steven Gerrard in this team? Oh wow, because for me he's still the best Liverpool player I've seen, and I'll put that out there. I know they've got Salah, Van Dijk, but Steven Gerrard for me was fantastic. Single-handedly at times he carried Liverpool teams in the past.
Bradley with the ball just down in front of where Ruud van Nistelrooy and Arne Slot are standing. The ball is turned out to Van Dijk, and then here is Gakpo right over on the white line on the left-hand side. Plays it back to Van Dijk. Now Tsimikas is a position out there. The Greek international left back, currently keeping Andy Robertson out of the team. I did think Robertson may have come back in for this one, but Tsimikas keeping his place as Diaz claims that he was being fouled. No free kick given, and then it's taken away by El Khanous, but Mavididi goes back to Thomas. Thomas drives it forward but just gives possession back to McAllister. Still 0-0, half-time approaching. Gravenberch is forced to take it away back towards the centre circle by Soumare, and then McAllister His chip pass over the top into the penalty area. Thomas had to be careful there, but he was. Salah got in behind him, but he readjusted well, the left back, and glance-headed it behind another corner.
Yeah, the young man Thomas has done well at fullback. He's done ever so well. As I said, Salah makes great move, runs in behind, and it's so hard to mark, but he's defended ever so well so far.
Yeah, do you remember him being in the FA Cup final winning team?
I do.
As a fresh-faced teenager. So it is 0-0 here. And McAllister to take the corner from the right flank. Again, Van Dijk and Konate together, then they run in all directions. Leicester man's gone down, Konate heads it, but straight at Hermansen, who's able to pick it up on the bounce. So it remains 0-0. They are underway in the second of the Women's Champions League semi-finals, the first leg, as per yesterday, Barcelona-Chelsea, and it's been monitored for us by Emily Herbert.
Yeah, it's just kicked off, but Barcelona remain the team to beat in European competitions. Bonpastor and Chelsea have gone strong, the same side that beat Liverpool to book their place in the FA Cup final. Ramirez and Beaver Jones lead the line. As for Barca, they're as formidable as ever. They've all but wrapped up their domestic league. 7 changes for them, with all the big names returning, including 2-time Ballon d'Or winners Aitana Bonmati and Alexia Putellas. But it's just kicked off, and it's 0-0.
Yes, just like the men's team, top of the league, got a good lead now after an extraordinary game yesterday evening, when Rafinha scored the winner from the penalty spot when they were 3-1 down against Celta Vigo, and obviously Champions League semi-final for the men to come. Who are you seeing as the favourites to win the Champions League, Clinton?
Good question, John. A lot of people say Barcelona, but I wouldn't rule out PSG or Inter Milan, because, and listen, Arsenal could beat PSG. We saw that the other night. I think Arsenal, the way Villa turned it around in that second half, but I just feel PSG, they do have a lot of good attacking play. Midfield and going forward, they're fantastic. But so with Arsenal. But if I had to pick 2, probably PSG, Inter Milan.
Okay. I thought you weren't going to get there, but you did in the end.
I did there. I was trying to big up so many teams. I didn't want everyone to think I was having a go at Arsenal, so I just thought PSG, Inter Milan.
I'm sure they wouldn't think that. 10 minutes to go to half-time. Leicester City 0, Liverpool 0. Bradley just playing it across to Van Dijk. Still, Liverpool are being made to wait. Long pass forward. Szoboszlai in on the challenge. He was one of those where he dipped his head down as Thomas was looking to maybe kick it away. Might have just caught him, but it's out for a throw. That's all that's given. Szoboszlai's okay. Thomas plays it back to Cody. Cody rolling it across the 6-yard box. Hermansen, the Danish goalkeeper, has already made one decent save from Salah. Thomas, then back to Cody. Again, right foot and forward from him. Mavididi gets a touch on that, under pressure from Konate. Van Dijk fires it back forward. Cody left it. It's bounced all the way to Diaz. He pulls it across, and the header down is saved by Hermansen to his left. Gakpo coming in, maybe 8-9 yards out. He was under pressure, couldn't get a clean contact, and Hermansen made the save anyway.
He did. I don't know why Conor Cody leaves it. I think he thinks he's offside, and he should just deal with it and then worry about it after. But this is where I get frustrated with Leicester here. Wout has got the ball, and you end up going forward, and then you go back again, and that's why the fans get frustrated. Go and have a goal.
Yes, they've been moaning about that, haven't they, all season? I think they were moaning about that under Steve Cooper.
They were moaning about it. They said it was negative football. They make a change, and I don't see a lot of change, John.
Yes, when Steve Cooper was relieved of his responsibilities, Leicester City was 16th in the table, and Leicester City with a throw down the left-hand side, throwing level with the edge of the Liverpool box. I think they've turned up the public address system because a message has not been responded to. Thomas to take this throw long into the Liverpool box, headed away by Konate. Comes out, El Kanous hits the shot through a crowd of players, but well wide by probably 10 yards, and it's behind for a goal kick. Still 0-0 with 7 minutes to go of the first half.
But where's this fight been for most of the season, though, John? This is what I'm saying. It's all right for the teams like you can turn up and do this against the top teams like Liverpool. Should be doing this all season, and then these fans like they have today will get behind you.
Leicester's next match is at Molineux against Wolves, who, well, they're very nearly safe, aren't they? Wolves now, after that win at Old Trafford, as Cody back to Mavididi, but it runs away and Bradley's able to play it forward towards the halfway line. Wolves now in 15th place in the table, so Wolves above Tottenham in the league table on 38 points. Wolves level on points with Manchester United, so they are now safe, Wolverhampton Wanderers, with that win at Old Trafford today. And talk about the praise that Arne Slot will get. I think Vitor Pereira will be getting plenty of praise as well on 6:06 later. Robbie Savage and Chris Sutton will be taking your calls. Lines will be open at half-time in this match. And we will hear from the man himself, Vitor Pereira. He likes to talk, doesn't he?
Oh, he likes to talk, but fair play to him.
He can be able to shut him up.
No, you won't be, but he can back his talk up. I give him that.
Here's Gakpo in from the left-hand side, curls it in, and Hermansen threw an arm up and clawed it away past the top corner and behind for a goal kick to corner to Liverpool again.
The amount of time Salah gets free at that back post for good movement, but it was good goalkeeping from Hermansen.
So McAllister waits to take this. It's the same routine. All 6 corners have been from the right-hand side for Liverpool. So once again, Konate and Van Dijk together near the penalty spot. Salah's taken up a position over there on the left. There's no one on him. And in comes the corner of the edge of the 6-yard box. Headed goalwards by Konate and then cleared away next to the post and up and over the bar by Ndidi.
Yeah, it was brilliant, John, because you know what? If Ndidi don't get there, I think Salah may be coming in at the back post. He does, and he has a tap-in. Really good defending. Good contact from Konate. Good defending, Ndidi.
Yeah. And we have the first Liverpool corner from the left-hand side now. It is still 0-0. 5 Live and the World Service from the BBC. Tsimikas then will get the chance to take this. He's got a decent delivery on occasions. Tsimikas, in it comes. Fass is able to get up and head it down and away in a mane of curly hair. And then it comes back to the halfway line. Bradley has got to keep his feet, which he did against El Khanous, and then he brings it forward, plays it into the penalty area. Shot on the turn from Gakpo, but straight at Hermansen as Fass took the Dutchman wide, and the shot was straight at the goalkeeper.
It's brilliant from Conor Bradley. He's the last man. He just skips past El Khanous. This young man can play. It's a good ball into Gakpo. I think Wout Fass just does enough, and the shot's not powerful enough to beat Hermansen, but good play from Bradley.
Leicester City 0, Liverpool 0. Beautiful day, County Championship cricket day, and all of those matches you can find the commentary, every single County Championship match. BBC Radio, our local radio stations providing the commentary, and you will find it on the cricket pages of the BBC Sport website and app. It takes a little bit of finding, but if you've not seen it before and you find it, it's almost like opening a Pandora's box if you're a cricket fan. Leicestershire, top of the league at the moment. Here's Tsimikas into the area on the left-hand side, pulls it down, Salah is there, and off the ground. Salah under pressure from Thomas, couldn't keep the shot down and lifted it over the bar. Goal kick.
Oh my, Salah's having one of them days again. Listen, it's a difficult skill there, because good play from Gakpo. It's a brilliant ball from Tsimikas. He has to fire it, and Salah can let it hit him, but where he's trying to go with his right foot, if he just chests it in, I think he's got a better opportunity. But good play from Tsimikas. Oh, good chance for, you know what, it's a good chance for him, because Mo Salah's world class. It's great opportunity.
Yeah, Salah, as I say, just the 2 penalties in what is now, well, almost 8.5 Liverpool appearances. He did set up the goal, the opening goal against West Ham last Sunday afternoon, but the goals have rather dried up for the Egyptian king. And as I'm hearing, there is a penalty in the Champions League semi-final, Emily Herbert.
There is, yes. Barcelona have a penalty against Chelsea in this first leg of the Champions League semi-final. It's going to be Alexia Putellas to take it. The ball is on the spot. Hannah Hampton in goal, the English goalkeeper, as Putellas takes 2-3 steps back. The Ballon d'Or winner, as she runs up to hit the ball from the penalty spot, and it's saved. Hannah Hampton has kept Chelsea in this tie. 11 minutes in, it's Barca 2, Barca 0, Chelsea 0.
So the penalty save for Chelsea, it remains 0-0. Leicester Tigers have won at Bristol in the Rugby Union Premiership. Bristol 19, Leicester 36, and 0-0 here at the King Power Stadium with 2 minutes to go to half-time, and Liverpool with the ball on the edge of their penalty area. So Van Dijk just begins to bring it forward in his blue boots that he's been wearing this season. Here's Bradley back into Konate. And Leicester very much in this, Clinton. Here's Gravenberch in the centre circle.
Yeah, Liverpool will be frustrated not going in if they don't score in this first half, because they've dominated, but Leicester have defended well.
Leicester City led for a long time at Anfield on Boxing Day when Ayew scored early, scored in the 6th minute, but Liverpool came out and were much improved in the second half, and in the end won by 3-1. And they're going to need to up their game, Liverpool, in the second half here as well. Konate still inside his own half. Bradley, then Salah, little ball in field, nice for Bradley to continue his surge forward. It's become a bit of a trademark of his, hasn't it? As then Szoboszlai gives it to Salah, and Salah tries to curl it across, but actually just passes it straight to Deco over Reed. And Leicester with El Kanous rolls his foot over the ball. Here's Vardy, who's looking for the run forward from either Deco over Reed or El Kanous. But in the end, it didn't come, so he had to use Mavididi, and Leicester have now ended up back in their own half. I think that's an example, isn't it? There?
That's the story of their season. They don't have enough bodies to go and commit forward. I get you're playing against Liverpool, but have a go. Have a go. Just go and have a go. Be positive. Go and take someone on. Commit players up the field. I get it, you're playing against Liverpool, but what have you got to lose?
If you've got a finely tuned ear, you might have just heard Connor Cody there. I could hear it from here as he shouted out in anguish as he overhit a pass over the top of the Liverpool defence, and then a pass forward from Bradley. Hermansen came right out to the edge of his area with Salah bearing down on him and took it like a rugby union fullback, caught it.
He did. He must have been hearing you talking about Leicester Tigers, but yeah, he did catch it brilliantly, John, and it was right on the edge as well. It was good. It was good movement from Salah, good ball from Bradley. 1
minute of added time. Should mention as well that a little later on, the Grand Prix will be on Sports Extra. The Saudi Arabian Grand Prix will be on your digital radio, BBC Sounds, from 5:45, so about half an hour from now. The Grand Prix will provide the choice of listening. But just 1 minute of added time. It's been a good half for Leicester City, and they've been able to say that so little in recent times. But Liverpool breaking forward, and then it comes off Soumare, and Hermansen is going to have to sprint out into his right back position, which he does, clears it to the halfway line. Liverpool, maybe one more attack in this minute of added time and make it 20 seconds of the first half to play. Leicester on the back foot as Liverpool put pressure on. Gakpo up against Pereira, left-footed cross over Szoboszlai, just got his head to it, chested down in the area. Diaz chests it down and volleys across the goal, wide of the post, behind. That's the last action of an entertaining first half, and I would have to say an unexpected scoreline of Leicester City 0, Liverpool 0.
And you can see the reaction from the Leicester City fans. You haven't seen that for a lot this season, them getting clapped off because they've put in a good performance. Yeah, Liverpool have been a bit wasteful in that final third and they've dominated, but credit to Leicester, they've stayed in the game, and it should be an interesting second half, John.
Yes, Leicester City still haven't scored here in the Premier League since the 8th of December, but I think Ruud van Nistelrooy and everyone in a blue scarf or a blue shirt will take this scoreline at half-time here. Leicester City 0, Liverpool 0.
And we saw Clinton Morrison, the demonstration, the plane flying over with the message about the ownership before the game. You made the right point, I think, in commentary. Where's this been all season?
Yeah, this is what I mean. It frustrates me, Crossy. Like, I just watch it and think it's a given to just go over across that white line and give 100%. I'm not saying the players haven't, but they've competed. They've made a go of it. They've got clapped off at halftime. I'd rather get that as a player than getting boos at halftime. So yeah, that's down to the players, and whatever Ruud's done this week, they've worked on it and they've got a game plan and they've frustrated Liverpool. But yeah, where has this been all season?
That elevator music is a interesting choice in the background, isn't it?
A bit of jazz,
a bit of jazz. John, is that your playlist, John?
Well, I don't mind a little bit.
Me neither, so that's what I'm saying. It just, soothes the mood, Crossy. You know what we're thinking? It was a bit tense, and now it's a bit soother at half-time.
I feel all mellow. Thanks very much.
That's
right,
how it's got to be.
Back with you two for second half commentary. John Murray and Clinton Morrison. Leicester 0, Liverpool 0. Remember, Leicester need to win today, otherwise they will be relegated, although obviously it's just when, not if, for Ruud van Nistelrooy's side. Full times in the Premier League: Fulham 1, Chelsea 2, Ipswich 0, Arsenal 4, Manchester United 0, Wolves 1. So we've got Enzo Maresca, Vitor Pereira, Kieran McKenna, World Championship snooker, another look ahead to the Grand Prix in Saudi Arabia, a bit of swimming, rugby union and rugby league, all before we're back to the King Power for second half commentary. Let's get the news first with John Barnes.
The voice of the UK.
This is BBC Radio 5 Live.
Thanks, Steve. Israel has dismissed a deputy commander for his role in the killing of 15 Palestinian medical workers in Gaza last month. A military inquiry found there had been a series of failings when troops opened fire on several ambulances, believing they were being used by Hamas. Our correspondent in Jerusalem, Gary O'Donoghue, has been reading the findings of the report.
They indicate what they describe as operational misunderstandings that brought about the killing of 14 of these medics and civil defence workers. They are harsher on the troops in terms of the killing of the UN worker in a separate vehicle. They say that was a breach of orders, and they also indicate in that case that the commander on the ground didn't give a full account of what had happened initially, implying that he really misled the investigators initially.
Ukraine and Russia have accused each other of breaking a 30-hour ceasefire announced by President Putin. Ukraine said Russia had continued to shell parts of the front line. Moscow says that Kyiv launched drone attacks last night. Pope Francis has made a brief appearance on the balcony of St. Peter's Basilica to wish the crowds a happy Easter. He was in a wheelchair and his voice was weak as he continues his recovery from double pneumonia. And here, the Easter sermon was delivered by the Archbishop of York. Stephen Cottrell called for an end to conflicts around the world, saying they obscured the values of Christianity.
On Radio 4, the more you listen, the more you see.
Confused about what's good for your health? Struggling to know what works and what's just snake oil? I'm Dr. Chris. And I'm Dr. Zand. And we prescribe a weekly dose of our new podcast, What's Up Docs. Side effects may include discovering what's really best for your health and well-being, understanding scientific breakthroughs, and laughter. Now that's good medicine. What's Up Docs? Listen now on Radio 4 and BBC Sounds.
BBC Radio 5 Live.
5 Live Sports with Steve Crossman.
Listen on BBC Sounds.
Leicester 0, Liverpool 0. Second half commentary on the way in the Premier League already today. Chelsea came from behind to beat Fulham 2-1. That takes them up to 5th, which is the final Champions League place. Here's manager Enzo Maresca.
Happy, very happy. First of all, because I think we deserve to win the game. We start well the first 20 minutes. Then after we concede the goal, unfortunately in this moment that for us it's a must win. It's not easy for the player because you are 1-0 down, so it become more difficult. And then second half, I think we also changed something in terms of tactically, and it was much better.
Just explain how you changed that tactically.
No, we were just probably a little bit more dynamic. With the Malo Gusto inside. I said many times that he's doing this for us fantastic since day one, and I think second half we were much better.
And talk about the promise of Tyreek George. I remember seeing him score an unbelievable goal for the under-18s against Crystal Palace a few years ago. He's a talent, isn't he?
Yeah, he's a talent. He has to work hard. He's doing well with us. He deserved the chance. The goal has been fantastic and has been also very important because give us energy boost for the last push, and then at the end we scored the second one.
Enzo Maresca with Match of the Day's Jonathan Pearce. After the excitement of midweek, a reality check for Manchester United at Old Trafford. Wolves winning by 1-0. That's 5 wins in a row for Vitor Pereira's side. So what's his secret?
Creating the spirit, the good energy between us. On the club, and with this spirit sometimes we don't play every time a fantastic game, but we need to play with our hearts, we need to play with our spirit. That's what we did today.
You mentioned spirit. That's the word you keep coming back to. You said it to me a few times last weekend as well after the win against Tottenham. Have you ever known a spirit like it?
No, this is the ambition to win. And the commitment with the team, the commitment between the players, between the players and the supporters, and the speed to help If you look for the players from the bench, they go there even 1 minute or 2 minutes, and they go with the intention and the spirit to help the team.
You mentioned that first you get points, then you get pints. Should we tell the landlord of the Moon Underwater pub that you're on your way now?
Today I'm a bit tired. I don't know. I cannot promise. I cannot promise. But we'll see.
That seems like you're leaving the door open. The Wolves fans will keep an eye out for you.
I cannot close the door. I cannot close the door. Depends.
That's Vitor Pereira with Charlie Slater. Yes, Luke from the Moon Underwater pub where Vitor Pereira's been stopping by was with us earlier on 5 Live Sport. 08085 909 693. Lines open for 606 with Robbie Savage and Chris Sutton. Afternoon, Rob.
Evening, Steve. Afternoon, Steve. How are you?
Yeah, very good. Thanks. Have you ever done that? With Macclesfield, big victory for a soft drink, a hard drink with the fans after? They've got a bar installed in the ground at Mac, haven't they?
We've got a few, Steve. Now it's just if the lads win, I take it from my Martin O'Neill days. Get the bus to stop off at the nearest off licence, get them a few beers. If they're not driving, and they can have a 1 or 2 on the bus on the way home. That's what I took from Martin O'Neill days. So again,
nice.
Yeah. So, but it's a race for the Champions League, Steve, isn't it? In that 4th and 5th position. Listen, Liverpool are going to win the league. I know it's 0-0 and the relegation places are sorted. I think the most interesting thing now in the Premier League is that race for the top 5, the 4th and 5th positions. Forest are currently in 6th, aren't they? Just dropping out of it. Obviously, they've got a huge game tomorrow. Is it tomorrow? Is it tomorrow? I've
Monday,
lost my days.
Spurs, isn't it, tomorrow?
I've lost my days.
Easter, innit?
They've got a big game tomorrow. They can get back in it. Chelsea, I believe the manager was getting a little bit of stick at half-time, but he turned it around with a fantastic 2-1 win. Wolves, you mentioned there, 5 wins in a row. Man United scored 3 goals in the last 7 minutes against Lyon. They've only scored 1, I think, in the last 4 Premier League matches. Quite remarkable. And did that 7 minutes paper over the cracks at Old Trafford, Steve? There's lots to talk about. Liverpool are good in the league. Relegation places are sorted. It's all for the top 5. And Chris said last night, Steve, on 606, Man City won't get in the top 5.
He did, yeah.
He certainly did. Wow. What do you think about that? Do you think they will?
08085 909 693. Have a good one, Rob. Thank you.
Cheers.
Great stuff. Robbie Savage with Chris Sutton for 606. Once we're done at the King Power Stadium. Elsewhere, Celtic will face Aberdeen in the Scottish Cup final. Celtic beat St Johnstone 5-0 in their semi-final at Hampden this afternoon in the Women's Champions League semi-final first leg. Chelsea are at Barcelona. Emily Herbert is watching.
And it's Barcelona 0, Chelsea 0. It's been very end-to-end. Chelsea probably coming out the better in play, although Pates has had a penalty saved by Hampton. Chelsea won this tie away against Barcelona last year. They're on track to do the same today. 24 minutes in, it's 0-0.
At 2 games in the WSL this afternoon, it finished. Manchester City won, Everton won. Champions League football already looked a bit of a tough ask for City before the game. That draw means Manchester United only need 3 points from their remaining 3 games to guarantee a top 3 finish. The other match finished Tottenham 2, Aston Villa 3. Let's get the latest from the World Snooker Championships in Sheffield. The first round continues. Jeremy Broughton.
And Mark Williams is beginning his campaign to win a 4th world title against China's Wu Yize. No player has been able to dominate this match this afternoon. Williams, though, has just taken frame 16 on the black to level proceedings at 8-all, and he's back at the table again on a break of 22. Meanwhile, on the other table, Fang Junyi is playing Mark Allen. Fang won the opening 3 frames, but Allen's hit back with breaks of 105, 62, 59 and 89 to lead 5-4 at the end of the first session. 10 is the target for victory and a place in the second round.
Just over half an hour away from the start of the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix. Live commentary on 5 Sports Extra. Max Verstappen on pole ahead of McLaren's Oscar Piastri. The World Championship leader Lando Norris starts from 10th after a crash in qualifying. Our 5 Live commentator is Harry Benjamin.
Yeah, and the reigning champ Verstappen is chomping at the bit to bounce back after a rough last outing, whilst the young Australian Piastri is looking to take the lead of the Drivers' Championship, going from second. As you say, teammate Lando Norris will have work to do to get himself up the order from 10th, but the sun has set, the lights are on, and we'll have 20 cars racing around the Jeddah street track, averaging speeds at 250 kilometres an hour. The walls are perilously close here. A safety car presence at every Saudi Arabian Grand Prix there has been so far. Lights out is at 6 p.m. with build-up on 5 Sports Extra from 5:45.
So we are pitch side, track side and pool side on 5 Live Sport. The final evening of competition at the British Swimming Championships. We can join Steve Parry.
Thanks, Steve. Yeah, you're right. We're here at the London Aquatic Centre. I'm with John Hunt and Karen Pickering, and we're watching the final day of the British Swimming Championships, which of course doubles up of the selection policy for the World Championships later this year. There's been over 1,000 swimmers over the last 5 days competing for 36 titles, but most importantly, 30 of them will get tickets to get on the plane to go to Singapore later this year to represent Great Britain. And who better to start with previewing the action than 4-time world champion Karen Pickering. Karen, what are you looking forward to tonight?
Well, it's got quite a few good races, some really good matchups, but one of the races, the women's 100 freestyle, will be going this evening, and you have Freya Anderson, who hasn't yet booked her place to take part in the World Championships in Singapore, and of course she's been an Olympic champion in the relay in the past, and an important part of the team for many years, so she'll be looking to gain the title in the 100 freestyle, but she's going to have some tough opposition from the youngster Eva Akaro, who won the 50 freestyle earlier this week, and it's a 12-year age gap between the oldest and the youngest in that race, which I love to see.
Yeah, we'll look forward to that. And John, of course, Great Britain coming off the back of a great Olympics last year, 1 gold, 4 silver. Which event are you looking forward to tonight?
Well, it's weird, Steve, isn't it? Afternoon to you, it's the 200 freestyle for the men would ordinarily be the standout event. Now, of course, Matt Richards is pre-selected after his silver medal in the games last year in Paris. So there's only one spot up for grabs tonight for the individual team. Obviously, the relay team pre-selected as well. So, yeah, that's taken a little bit of the lustre out of that event for me, to be honest with you. I'm looking forward to the men's 200 backstroke tonight. We're watching the heats today. Johnny Marshall looked silky smooth. Ollie Morgan hasn't been beaten in the British Championships for 3 years now, and he's swimming brilliantly. But I just feel Luke Greenbank this morning looked great, and of course he had a miserable Paris, being disqualified in his event, early on, when looking in great shape. I think Greenbank means business.
Yeah, it does. And I tell you what, they could do with turning the temperatures down a little bit. It's absolutely sweltering. It was kind of British swimming to stick us at the wrong end as well, John. So you're going to have to get your binoculars out so they can see what we're doing. But Steve, we're lined up here for the GB Aquatics. We're going to be on from 7 o'clock online, and then we're moving to Sports Extra about 7:45.
Brilliant stuff. Thank you very much, guys. In the Women's Six Nations, Ireland beat Wales 40-14. Wales remain bottom of the table without a win in the men's Premiership. Leicester second in the table after a 36-19 win over Bristol. In Rugby League Women's Challenge Cup, London Broncos beat Barrow 22-14. And Holger Rune has beaten Carlos Alcaraz in the final of the Barcelona Open in straight sets. The PA has changed a little bit at the King Power at half-time. We enjoyed a little jazz club. Nice. Now second half commentary with Clinton Morrison and John Murray.
Yes, the traditional post-horn gallop just fading away as the teams come out. Liverpool in the red, Leicester in the blue. Quite a contrast between the two of them. Liverpool, the Premier League leaders, Leicester, second bottom of the table. Have to win this, otherwise they'll be relegated today, but they've given a good account of themselves so far, and it's 0-0 as the second half is about to begin. No changes at the break, so Leicester with Hermansen in goal, couple of decent saves from him. Pereira, Fass, Cody and Thomas are the back four, and Didi and Sumare in midfield. De Cordova-Reid, El Canous and Mavididi with Jamie Vardy up front, and Liverpool with Alisson in goal, Bradley, Konate, Van Dijk and Tsimikas, Gravenberch, McAllister and Szoboszlai, and then Salah, Diaz and Gakpo. The highlights so far: the Salah shot that hit both posts and stayed out early in the match, while Ndidi went just about as close for Leicester with a shot that struck the upright and stayed out. So the second half begins as Stuart Atwell blows his whistle in the East Midlands sunshine here at the King Power Stadium, just south of the city centre of Leicester. And it is Leicester City who play it forward to De Cordova-Reid. They're attacking from left to right as we look, and we're on the dressing room side of the ground. Ruud van Nistelrooy already in position, and Arne Slot now just walking forward. He's actually put a coat on for the second half.
He looks suave though, John, that's the one thing he has brought to the Premier League. He's one of the best dressed managers in the Premier League.
Understated, isn't it?
Yes, very much so.
Could win the Premier League title in his first season as De Cordova-Reid is caught offside, and it is a free kick to Liverpool. Yes, other managers who've won it in their first season at a club, and it is actually a lengthy list. Can you name any of them? I'll start you off.
Season.
Yeah, Mourinho at Chelsea won it in his first season. As Liverpool come forward with Gravenberch. Have a little think.
Saved by this.
Here is Tsimikas now. Tsimikas to Gakpo on the left-hand side. Gakpo back to the edge of the area. Tsimikas curls it into the back post.
I got one. I thought he had won it, and I knew he had won it, but I didn't know if it's his first season. Conte,
correct. Yeah, he did it. So it's another corner to
How
Liverpool.
many more we got?
1, 2, 3, and these are all in recent times. So since Mourinho won it 20 years ago in his
There's
first
one
season.
Definitely. It's got to be Ancelotti.
Correct. That's another one.
Yeah, they're the best. There's no one else, is there? Mourinho, Conte, Ancelotti. What are the other two?
Well, there's a clue.
Pep.
Not far away from where we are here. Corner for Liverpool. In fact, where we are. Tsimikas. Left-footed and in over the top of Konate, headed away on the edge of the area.
Ranieri. Yeah.
Yeah, and the other one, Pellegrini.
I would have got that one. I wouldn't. At Man City,
Manchester City. So it's not a rare thing. So the ball comes back towards the edge of the Leicester box. That's cleared away on the edge of the area. Comes out to McAllister. Liverpool now trying to start the second half strongly. Can't win the title today. Can't be confirmed today, but they are 2 wins away after Arsenal's big win earlier at Ipswich. As there's a slip by Pereira. Might have taken a bang from Gakpo, but the ball was out of play, and it's a throw-in to Liverpool, who go back into their own half. Still bright sunshine. There is a coolish wind, but it's perfectly pleasant. Konate across towards Bradley. Conor Bradley. Do you think he is the future at right back? Have you seen enough of him?
Yeah.
You can answer that in a moment, because here's Gakpo on the left-hand side. Gakpo back to Szoboszlai, 25 yards out, tries the shot. Humston goes down, couldn't hold it, parried it out. Gravenberch was nearly there, but Cody got there first for Leicester to smack it behind for a corner.
Yeah, it's a brilliant strike from Szoboszlai. And you know what? Once a goalkeeper, Hermanson, parries it back into danger, you want one of your centre-arm half to react. And Conor Cody done ever so well, but good play. I do like Conor Bradley. I do think he is the future. I think he's got a bright future. I still feel Liverpool need to sign another world-class right-back as well.
Yeah, you obviously have to have 2 in every position, as the top managers always say. Unai Emery was saying it to us last night, in fact, at Villa Park. Corner, McAllister plays it in. That's headed away on the edge of the 6-yard box by Conor Cody, who has been commanding today, hasn't he, against the club where he started his career. Conor Cody, the Liverpudlian, born in St Helens, as he was. The ball's out of play on the far side for a throw-in to Liverpool. It's been all Liverpool in the second half, and actually, when you look at it, the chances really have stacked up now, but Liverpool not able to find a way through yet. Gakpo's had a couple of near things. Obviously, the shot that hit the post from Salah, he's had one saved by Hermanson. The big chance when he volleyed it over in an aerial position. And then Diaz with that effort just before half-time, which was actually a good chance as well. But still 0-0 here, 5 Live. The World Service are back with us as well. Welcome to you. Tsimikas now down the left, but Fass slides in, and then Tsimikas goes over the top of him. But the 2 of them are okay. And there's a little acknowledgement between the 2 of them, all very friendly. Comes back to the centre circle. And then McAllister rolls it out to the left-hand side to Gakpo. Gakpo with Tsimikas on the overlap, but the Dutchman just keeps possession, plays it back centrally to McAllister, who scored a very good goal in Liverpool's last away match when they lost at Craven Cottage. Now Salah round the outside and wins a corner off Thomas for Liverpool again. Before it's taken, Barcelona-Chelsea in the Champions League semi-final. Emily Herbert.
Barcelona 1, Chelsea 0. It's a brilliant through ball to break the Chelsea back line, and Pajor is there to slip it past Hannah Hampton, bottom left-hand corner. Barcelona 1, Chelsea 0.
Thank you very much. So Barcelona, having had a penalty saved earlier in the match, now lead by 1-0. This is Liverpool's 3rd corner of the second half, and indeed 10th in all in the match. Still goalless. So this one swung in towards the back post. Hermanson comes, gets a good 2-handed punch on that as he leapt above the heads of everyone in front of him. Gravenberch is able to carry it forward, gives it to his fellow Dutchman, Gakpo. As El Canous tries to get a foot in, but Liverpool, Gakpo is able to find Gravenberch. This is now the left corner of the box, comes centrally. McAllister plays it through harmlessly for Leicester, all the way through the inside left position for a goal kick, Clinton Morrison.
Yeah, I think Liverpool will be looking to... I don't like Diaz in the centre-forward position. I don't think Luis Diaz is a number 9. He drops too deep, wants to get involved. His best position's on the left, so it might be a time for Diogo Jota, who comes on and always has an influence and is a more natural striker than probably Luis Diaz is. And then you look at probably McAllister's had a quiet game. Could someone like a Curtis Jones come on and change the game? So I think Arne Slot will be looking at that soon.
Darwin Núñez on the substitutes
Yeah,
bench
yeah,
as
he
well.
could have an impact, Darwin Núñez.
Seems to be a feeling that he may move on this summer. Szoboszlai to Gakpo, and then in with a challenge Ndidi. That's a classic Ndidi challenge, isn't it? That was, Leicester at their best when Ndidi's putting in those sort of challenges, and then it's being brought forward by Mavididi, who then finds Szoboszlai and Gravenberch chasing him, but he keeps possession, and there's a little bit of warmth from the applause of the Leicester City supporters inside the ground.
John, they're showing desire and heart to win a tackle. There was 3 of them there, and then Mavididi done well, and he didn't give the ball away. He kept possession.
Well, he talked Ruud van Nistelrooy about breaking the cycle, which they did last week with that point at Brighton, and now Tsimikas is being put under pressure. Al Khanous with the cross, but it's over the top of Vardy, who ends up running past the goal and actually swinging on the stanchion behind the net, but it was caught by Alisson, who gives it out, and Liverpool are on the move. A little bit of something there for Leicester, a breakaway. Tsimikas put under pressure, but now Szoboszlai bursts forward on the right. Szoboszlai ball across, Hermans with a touch, Gakpo with a shot, but that's blocked by the defender. Pereira inside the box, right in line of the shot from Gakpo, and was able to deflect it away.
He's got to score, Gakpo, for me. He has to score, John.
Yeah, and Leicester there, having pressed forward, opened themselves up at the back, and now Liverpool again. Salah's ball across, hits Thomas, bounces down, Salah, flicked from Bradley, and Szoboszlai couldn't find a way through, so it's back with McAllister 25 yards out, who gives it back to the right.
Yeah, it was good play from Salah to Szoboszlai. Once he puts it in, Gakpo's got the whole of the near post. He tries to go back to the far post. Good block from Ricardo Pereira, but he shouldn't be making him make that Pereira. Should be tapping it into the near post. Should be 1-0 Liverpool. The
Grand Prix will be starting shortly, about 5 minutes time. 5-minute warning. It's on Sports Extra. Here's Tsimikas now. Tsimikas with a challenge from Di Cordova-Reid, and the final touch was off the Liverpool man, and it's behind for a goal kick. So it is still 0-0. Now 6:06 will be on the air on 5 Live from round about 6:30. So Robbie Savage and Chris Sutton will be taking your calls again on the UK's most popular football phone-in. So the lines are open, and 08 085 909 693, the number to call. Hashtag BBC 606, or you can book your call on 85058 to talk to Robbie and Chris.
You know, Robbie Savage is now the best manager around.
Well, he's had an amazing season.
He has.
With Macclesfield.
He's done well, to be
should
fair.
get, like Arne Slot, should get all the credit that
Of course he does. He deserves it.
Championship winning manager should get. Bradley, as Liverpool compose, cuts it back, shot from the angle by Luis Diaz, but it whizzes away over the top corner. Hands on the Colombian head from Luis Diaz. Goal kick, Leicester 0-0.
It looks like it's coming, doesn't it, John? I think in the second half, Liverpool have upped it. I think the 1 and 2 touch is brilliant. It's a good ball from Gravenberch. Great run again from young Bradley, and Diaz should be hitting the target. He's just leaning back, and that's what I say. He's not a natural striker, and I think that's where Liverpool will be shopping in the summer, to get a natural number 9. Liverpool get a number 9, they'll win the Premier League again next season, in my eyes.
Oh.
Big statement, I know.
City will be back, of course.
Yeah, they'll be back, but I still think, will they be back to that kind of level where they were 2 or 3 seasons ago, John?
Yes.
I'm not quite sure.
Obviously, we'll have to find out at some stage what happens with the 100-plus charges, whenever that eventually comes out. Here's Bradley playing the ball forward, but Thomas blocks that out for a throw down the right-hand side. The point being that obviously there are question marks there, but in a footballing sense, you would very much expect Manchester City.
Definitely,
to be back.
You think it would be the 3 teams, and there might be one team that surprises you. You never know, someone like a Newcastle or Aston Villa.
Leicester City 0, Liverpool 0. Yes, we were talking last night with Pat Nevin after the match had finished about what Villa's potential might be like next season.
Huge potential, especially with the manager, Unai Emery. He's a fantastic manager.
Incidentally, Ollie Watkins is now the leading England player in terms of Premier League goals this season. So he's got 1 more than Cole Palmer, now 15. Top of the tree, of course, Mo Salah with his 27 that he's scored in the Premier League this season. Through the middle for Liverpool, Gravenberch and Szoboszlai. Might break for Tsimikas, who stretched for it, but what an excellent challenge from Pereira, who found an extra yard there to block it. Or was it goalkeeper Hermansen in the end who actually saved it? In any case, it was deflected behind for a corner, and actually it was a good save by Hermansen. Excellent save, his best save so far.
Yeah, brilliant save. I think Tsimikas needs to slide, John. If he stands up, he can dink it over him, but you're right, brilliant save.
They're getting closer and closer. Corner then, taken short this time. Then back to the corner taker, McAllister, left-footed cross, hits Van Dijk, who's under pressure, and then they break away with Soumare, but he's got no one there with him. Vardy is trying to get there, but Soumare has got it over all on his own on the left-hand side, leaves it for El Kanous. And El Kanous, Bradley is back there, and actually El Kanous in the end lost his bearings, didn't realise he was next to the white line, and actually ran it out of play for a throw into Liverpool.
Yeah, they just have, Leicester are doing ever so well. They defended so much, and they got such a deep line, and everyone's defending behind the ball. When they break, there's only one player really breaking, and Jamie Vardy, and it's so hard because Liverpool get back into their shape really well.
Yes, the Grand Prix will be on any moment now on Sports Extra, the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix. Harry Benjamin and the team will bring you the commentary, so that is on Sports Extra or via your digital radio. And then after that, as we heard at half-time from Steve Parry, there will be live swimming tonight from the London Aquatic Centre, the British Swimming Championships on Sports Extra after the Grand Prix. John Hunt leading our excellent swimming commentary team, Karen Pickering as well. Ball out of play for a throw-in to Liverpool over there on the far side, which they take quickly. Szoboszlai, Liverpool still struggling to find a way through against relegation-bound Leicester City. Konate is able to bring it down and give it to Szoboszlai. Then back to Konate, and then square to Van Dijk. And Van Dijk rolls it over here to the left-hand side on a slot, still not looking like making a change. Gakpo with a cross from the dead ball line to the penalty spot, where it is swung away out of play.
I think Leicester are going to make two changes. I think Daka and Buonanotte. I just seen Ruud van Nistelrooy call them back from their warm-up, so probably be one of them be Jamie Vardy. It's a lone battle up there up front by himself, isn't it?
Yeah. Buonanotte wasn't able to play against Brighton last week. He's on loan from Brighton. As I was rather hoping we might see young Jeremy Monga.
I saw him come on the other day. He looked lively on the right-hand side, John. He did. 15 years of age.
15 years old. Yeah. 16 in July. Remember those days, Clinton?
Yeah, I wish I made my debut at 15.
Half an hour to go. Bradley bursting forward for Liverpool, plays it across the box, couldn't find Tsimikas, still going Liverpool after it was blocked away. Salah, excellent footwork, curler, wide from Salah. Hermansen diving to his right. He had the look of a goalkeeper who'd been beaten by the shot, but actually it was wide of the post. It's still 0-0, and another one comes and goes for Salah.
Could it be one of them days, John? I'm not sure. Bradley should have shot, but once it comes to Salah, the feet that he shows inside the box, fantastic. You're waiting for the net to ripple, and yeah, it's quite well wide in the end, but Bradley is the one. Put your foot through it.
We're going to see the double change for Leicester, but also Liverpool making the change, and Jota's coming on for Gakpo, as you suggested, Clinton.
Yeah.
You know your onions, don't you?
Yeah, I know him, and I like him a lot, Diogo Jota. It's just injuries of Diogo Jota, but he scores goals.
Also, Gakpo's just tailed away a little bit this season. He's not scored in 9 Liverpool appearances now, after at one stage he was absolutely one of their frontliners this season. Remember when he scored against Real Madrid and Manchester City in the same?
I think he's had a few injuries, John, and it's kind of stop-start season, but you're right, he has tailed away. I think this is the best front three for me at the moment at Liverpool.
Yeah, they're just being ever so careful, though, it seems to me, with Jota's fitness as well. So he's now on, and he's actually challenged Hermansen and caught him late, so that's going to be a free kick to Leicester in their own box. And for Leicester, it's going to be Di Cordova-Reid who is substituted. He's the man who scored Leicester's last home Premier League goal, by the way. Di Cordova-Reid back 133 days ago, and Jamie Vardy won't be breaking the drought here at the King Power, because, as you suggested, Jamie Vardy is being substituted, and he's given the captain's armband to Pereira. incidentally.
Yeah, he puts a shift in, Jamie Vardy, and any young player wanting to make it as a professional, look how the hard work he's done to come through, and he's an out-and-out goal scorer and still going at 38 years of age.
So it's Patson Daka, the Zambian international, who's another one who's missed a big chunk of this season with injury. So again, you know, Leicester didn't need that. Just the one goal
John,
to his name.
You know they had one player on loan from Crystal Palace. I have not seen him, Edward. Not seen him. Hasn't played hardly at all.
Is a very good point. Not involved in the squad today, as Ruud van Nistelrooy said, I think, in advance of this match. Fass, player on the edge of his penalty area, turns. So Patson Daka is on for Leicester up front. And Tsimikas now being put under pressure. Leicester looking here as though they might be thinking about getting a few more bodies forward. Buonanotte, the other substitute, the number 40. Now forward for Daka to chase him. Konate is forced by Daka to concede a corner. Kicked it out of play next to the corner flag. Leicester's first corner kick of the match.
Yeah, it's different, Daka. He'll give you energy up front. He'll chase the lost causes. And yeah, when you've just come on, that's the kind of impact you got to have.
So Buonanotte is going to take this from the right-hand side. Leicester, their supporters behind the goal. Just one sole flag being rather sadly waved by a Leicester fan as Buonanotte plays this in. Fass at the back post, but it's headed away by Gravenberch. And that one corner for Leicester has come to nothing. And now the blue shirts are pouring back to get into position. There's McAllister, crosses the halfway line. Szoboszlai swings it in. Jota with a header down and wide. Hermansen diving down to his right, but wide by a couple of feet.
I'm starting to worry that it's one of them days. Liverpool fans must be starting to worry in that corner that it's going to be one of them days. This is an unbelievable cross from Szoboszlai, and it's a great chance for Diogo Jota. He's there. Listen, it is hard. He's about 8-9 yards out. It has to be some header to beat Hermansen, but you expect him to hit the target there.
And he is remarkably effective, isn't he, with his head?
Yeah, he's
Jota.
very good. He's very good with his head. And it's good movement, but that's what they do, Liverpool. They're just breaking their numbers, but the crossing is fantastic.
The score is Leicester City 0, Liverpool 0. Hands up everyone who expected that with less than half an hour to play. Here's Konate with the ball in the middle of his half, and for the first time today, I think, the sun has just disappeared. So we've got the whole of the pitch right now in shadow. There's Van Dijk. Rolls the pass right-footed. Luis Diaz has got that all wrong and has just turned it straight out of play for a throw-in to Leicester. And a throw-in to Pereira to take. Ricardo Pereira just stealing a few yards up the right-hand side, and then takes it in towards Ndidi, who hikes it forward with his right foot. Daka on the chase, but Konate is able to bounce it back to Alisson, who's had very little to do in the match. Alisson, bar the shot that was going in, had it not struck the post from Ndidi. But Leicester are showing a little more of something, and here's El Kanous. His cross into the area straight at Konate, who's able to control it and pass it forward to Gravenberch. And Liverpool with Salah, but Salah miscontrols it out of play as he tried to take on Thomas.
Sometimes you watch Salah and you think, is it the same player who scored that much goals?
Oh, it's Bradley tackling back, but I think, yeah, it is a yellow card for Bradley. And Mavididi got away from him, and Bradley has fouled him, bundled him over, and that's a free kick to Leicester on the left wing.
Let me tell you, John, the piece of skill from Mavididi is outstanding. He just flicks it one side and goes the other side. He has caused Bradley a few problems in that first half, not so much second half. I think Bradley's been taking him back, but he has to be careful now.
Yes, so it is a free kick. El Kanous to play this in. Still 0-0. 5 Live in the World Service from the BBC. The Grand Prix, I think, is now on Sports Extra. Yes, it is, I'm told. So here is the free kick for Leicester City from out on the left flank. Liverpool players holding a line just outside the 6-yard box. It's swung in left-footed and headed up and away by Szoboszlai, not clear of the penalty area. Another challenge inside the box. Buonanotte now plays it through the legs, and then the shot from the angle by Ndidi. That was Alisson's out of his goal. It's headed in the 6-yard box. Conor Cody. The goal stands. Liverpool look to the referee. Or has it been ruled out?
No, he disallowed it. He disallowed it. It is a foul, John. I called it straight away. I don't understand why the referee don't make it. Alisson's trying to come for the ball and he gets a nudge. And every time you touch a goalkeeper nowadays, you know, they will check it. But look, Patson Daka's looking at him and there's the slightest of contact, John. I don't think it's enough because I'm in the centre forward area, but you can't make a contact like that. And for once the referees give it, yeah, that's a foul. It's a foul.
It's nudged into
Alisson.
Alisson.
He's nudged him. It's a foul.
Who, as I say, was out of his goal. It was he was along the dead ball line, wide of the goal, but Daka had a look at him, didn't he?
He did have a look. If you don't have a look at him or nudge him, then yeah, it wasn't convincing goalkeeping, but it's the right decision.
So the Cody dream goal against Liverpool is ruled out, and it's still 0-0, but now Liverpool with Bradley at the other end. Ball across, Pereira stretches, clears, comes out, Tsimikas, then Daka. Excellent work from Daka to put the challenge. It's like a cup tie now, this match. And the underdogs thought that they'd got a goal at one end. That was ruled out, so still 0-0. 5 Live on the World Service from the BBC. And Liverpool with Konate is able to play it to Van Dijk, and Van Dijk, here's Luis Diaz, and Luis Diaz now infield, a little stab pass to McAllister back to Luis Diaz. Tsimikas is able to get the crossover, came off Fass's head, and then Cody headed it away for Leicester. Liverpool take up possession again. Gravenberch, then to Luis Diaz. Luis Diaz cuts inside of Buonanotte, then drags it back, gives it to Tsimikas on the left wing. Tsimikas taking on Ricardo Pereira, and then lays it back to Gravenberch, who's 25 yards out. And it's like attack against defence now. We're into the last quarter of the match, and it's still 0-0. With this scoreline, Leicester's relegation would be confirmed today. Leicester have got to win it, but you know, I think we know Leicester are relegation bound. We know Liverpool are bound for the title, and it's just about the game, really.
That's what it is about the game. It's definitely about the game.
Long pass from Konate. Hermansen comes and makes a catch on the edge of his penalty area.
But John, we are getting time, that Trent Alexander-Arnold time, so we'll know what reception he's getting because he's coming on with Harvey Elliott at the moment.
Yeah, so we'll want to hear that. Harvey Elliott and Alexander-Arnold coming on together. But from the hurly-burly of the King Power Stadium, we're going to go to the World Snooker Championship because Jamie Broughton has an update from the Crucible.
And the 3-time world champion Mark Williams is through to the second round, John. He's just fought back from 8-7 down to beat China's Wu Yize by 10 frames to 8. Williams will now play Barry Hawkins or Hossein Vafai next.
Here's Daka in the Liverpool area. Daka goes down, but referee Atwell immediately says no. That was a clean challenge to take the ball away. And now Pereira. Leicester City supporters here, I've got a feeling that they've not had an atmosphere like this for months and months and months. As Buonanotte curls one forward, Daka couldn't get there. Alisson quickly out of the 6-yard box, and the Liverpool goalkeeper gathers it. Alexander-Arnold and Elliott waiting to come on. Been a foul on McAllister, centre field, but referee Atwell has played the advantage, and now Diogo Jota running from deep. Ricardo Pereira with it. Oh, that looked like a good challenge to me. Shoulder to shoulder, but down went Jota, and the free kick was given. And the referee, I think, is going to go back to the challenge on Szoboszlai.
Or McAllister, was it?
McAllister. It looks as though it's Ndidi who's going to receive the yellow card. Yes, it is. While Liverpool organise themselves, what's the latest on Barcelona-Chelsea in the Women's Champions League semi-final, Emily Herbert?
Well, Chelsea with some work to do at the break. They trail by 1-0. Barcelona's top goal scorer, Iwa Pior, the difference, who slipped through Chelsea's backline to compose herself inside the box and slot past Hampton into the bottom corner. Chelsea haven't been bad. Every time they attack, they look like they could score, but at half-time, it's Barcelona 1, Chelsea 0.
Here's Trent Alexander-Arnold is sprinting onto the pitch. There are boos, but I think they're coming from the Leicester City fans.
Yeah,
and actually the Liverpool fans are applauding him.
Yeah, they
almost all of them.
Yeah, they all gave him. You got to applaud him. The young man's a fantastic footballer.
Yes, this is the backdrop of this is the expectation that he's going to leave Liverpool at the end of the season. Tsimikas takes this free kick into the box, too close to Hermansen, who's able to stretch to the left of his 6-yard box and make the catch. So Liverpool making 2 changes there. Bradley has been replaced by Alexander-Arnold, and Harvey Elliott coming on into the midfield for Szoboszlai. So it remains 0-0 as Leicester have the ball halfway inside their own half. Just trying to make out what the Liverpool fans were singing there. I'm the world's worst at making out what fans sing. But the chances are it might not have been repeatable anyway in many cases, as the ball's out again for another throw into Leicester near the halfway line. We're into the last 20 minutes.
The scouts are in our team. They're talking about Trent, so there's basically they are backing him. The scouts are in our team. Yep.
Well done. That was well interpreted by you, Clinton. With a little bit of help.
With a little bit of help. I got a lot of help.
Yeah, just as well. We've got editorial presence
exactly.
on site.
We've got royalty in the building.
Leicester City 0, Liverpool 0, and a strong backing for Trent Alexander-Arnold, which I have to say pleases me.
Definitely, it pleases me. I love Trent. I think he's fantastic. He's one of the, if not the best passer in the Premier League, alongside Kevin De Bruyne, a fantastic footballer.
Right. We've got a real match on here, even though this scoreline would result in Leicester's relegation being confirmed. Lines are open for 606 08 085 909 693. I'm sure they'd want to hear from Wolverhampton Wanderers supporters on the way back from Old Trafford, winning 1-0 against Manchester United, so Wolves now safe from relegation, which again we knew was going to happen, but confirmation of that. Arsenal 4-0 winners at Ipswich. That is why Liverpool cannot be confirmed as champions today. Here's Elliott taking it on and shooting. I thought that took a deflection on its way over.
John,
there's a goal kick.
Thank you. You can see from here, and Stuart Atwell is 5 yards away, can't see from there. Oh, come on. We can all see that. It's the biggest deflection off of Luke Thomas.
Yeah. It's the way the ball wobbled, really, as much as anything else. But it's a goal kick that's been given. So, yes, wins for Wolves and Arsenal, and a full house of away wins in the Premier League earlier. Chelsea winning 2-1 at Fulham with the late goals from George and Neto. So again, Chelsea supporters, I hear that Enzo Maresca was receiving a bit of criticism, as he did here last season, even though he was leading Leicester to the Championship title. Celtic through to the final of the Scottish Cup, 5-0 winners against St Johnstone at Hampden, and 0-0 here. Tsimikas waiting on the halfway line. So yes, 08 085 909 693 to talk to Chris and Robbie on 5 Live from around about 6:30. So Liverpool being made to work hard. They have had a stack of chances in the match, but Hermansen's had a good day, and Leicester City, who thus far this season have kept precisely one Premier League clean sheet in 32 matches played, are frustrating Liverpool. Liverpool, who almost always score. In fact, just once in their last 36 Premier League matches have Liverpool failed to score, and that was when they lost to Nottingham Forest at Anfield earlier this season. Gravenberg is fouled. El Khanous and Daka together, but Leicester look a different team. Elliott. There is some confidence out there. Alexander-Arnold's cross takes a flick off the defender Thomas's outstretched boot, but that took it wider than near post and behind for another Liverpool corner. This is number 12 of the match. So Tsimikas is going to take this. Tsimikas, remember last season in the League Cup final when Tsimikas' corner was headed in by Van Dijk for the winner. Tsimikas takes the ball, places it very carefully there. Jota is in a little Konate Van Dijk sandwich near the penalty spot. Tsimikas curls it in, and indeed he got his head to it, and it bounces, hits the post, and then Jota couldn't score.
God.
How did that stay out? Still in the area. Alexander-Arnold shot again. Hermansen couldn't keep it out, and it's Trent Alexander-Arnold who scores the goal and whips his Liverpool shirt off and runs across to the fans and slides on his knees. And Alexander-Arnold takes the acclaim of the Liverpool fans here inside the King Power Stadium. There is still a bond there between the number 66 and the Liverpool fans. He scored the goal that takes Liverpool very, very close to the league title. They're winning. Leicester are complaining about this. They're surrounding referee Atwell, so we'll see if VAR is going to intervene here. but for the time being, it is Leicester City 0, Liverpool 1, and it's Trent Alexander-Arnold.
You know, if you're leaving a football club, John, I don't think you celebrate like that. So the emotions that I've seen with Trent Alexander-Arnold running there, taking his shirt off, it's fantastic, to be fair, but it's a great finish. Obviously, VAR are going to have a look at it. They want a foul. I don't know why they want a foul, because it's Hermansen that collides, I think, with Leicester's defender that's on the floor. Salah has the initial touch, so I think the goal will stand, but once it comes, it was written, wasn't it? It's probably written. Yeah, it's not going to be a foul. I don't see no foul in the build-up at all. And the strike from Trent Alexander, with his weaker foot, he doesn't have a weaker foot. Fantastic finish from him. And it was probably written, wasn't it, John? Everyone was worried about the reception, and it's a great finish.
Yeah, left foot finish. We're going to win the league. I think the goal will stand, as Clinton Morrison has said. It was through a crowd of players. I think Hermansen was unsighted, actually. The goalkeeper had hit at the underside of his body on the way in. And in the midst of all that, it was a little header by Salah that actually bounced down and hit the post. Then Jota somehow didn't score from the position he was in, on the left side of the 6-yard box, but no matter for Liverpool. And there is the restart. The goal stands. It's Trent Alexander-Arnold. It's Leicester City 0, Liverpool 1. And with this scoreline, Liverpool will be just one win away from being confirmed as the new Premier League champions. And Leicester, a defeat that will confirm their relegation back to the Championship. But quite a moment that.
It is a big moment, and he's a big player. Listen, whatever happens with him, I love watching him. I think he's a fantastic player. You can play anywhere on the football pitch. That's how high I hold him, Trent Alexander-Arnold. And I'm happy he scored that goal. Listen, I don't support any of these teams, but for what Trent Alexander-Arnold, whatever happens with him at Liverpool, it's a great strike.
We shall not be moved, saying the Liverpool supporters, like a team that's going to win the Football League. Here's Salah into the penalty area, little cross, Jota with a header! Oh, excellent defensive header though by Pereira before he could twist his neck and head it in. Pereira arrived.
Yeah, I think Pereira just does enough and puts Diogo Jota off. It's a brilliant pass from Gravenberch, and Salah's now getting into the game more in his second half. He's channed it up to the back post, but you're right, John, Pereira just does enough, and yeah, Jota just heads it wide.
1-0 to Liverpool. 5 Live in the World Service from the BBC. 0800 085 909 693 to talk to Robbie Savage and Chris Sutton. I think it's a very good point you made, Clinton, about the manner of Alexander-Arnold's celebration. You know, to react in the way that he did, his shirt coming off, which I presume he was yellow carded for. He must have been. I didn't see whether he was or not. But
yeah, he was.
He was.
Yeah.
But to celebrate like that, you know, that suggests to me these are the dying days of Trent Alexander-Arnold as a Liverpool player.
Yeah, it could be. I've seen many U-turns though. You never know, John.
Not so sure.
Yeah, I'm not so sure. I'm in hope like everyone. You want to see the best players in the Premier League, but yeah, I'm in hope like you. Yes. I don't think it will be, but I'm in hope.
Well, as I said at the time, around about the turn of the year, I was told that by a colleague of mine in Madrid that Real Madrid was super confident that he would be a Real Madrid player next season.
And when they're confident, they usually get what they want.
They do, don't they?
Yes, they do.
They've got a tendency of that. They're playing tonight, Real Madrid, against Athletic Bilbao.
Ooh, good game.
So 1-0 to Liverpool, and Jota playing it through. Liverpool looking for a second. Elliott then forward to Salah. Salah's in, but it's blocked by Cody. Comes back to Elliott, though, still inside the Leicester box, and then the challenge puts it behind from Ndidi for another Liverpool corner, and they are now hungrily looking for a second goal. The Grand Prix continues on Sports Extra, the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix, but there has been a crash on the opening lap, and Max Verstappen is leading behind the safety car, so that is on Sports Extra right now. 10 minutes to play.